Hey everybody, clearing. All right, this is going to be for both counterparts, as are all my readings. So, I often get comments when I label it Divine Masculine, where are the DF readings? When I label it Divine Feminine, where are the Divine Feminine readings? But if you watch my readings, I give you information for both and how they relate to each other always. Always. You've got to maybe be a little bit creative, but it's always going to show you mirrored energy with what's going on, one or the other, and how it relates to the other one. But anyways, so we're going to start with Divine Masculines. And specifically the theme that's coming on the pre-shuffle today is, what are the Divine Masculines consciously working through towards union, towards these connections, towards sacred union, alignment further with their feminine. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information for the amazing collective that joins me here. What are the masculines aware of, conscious of, their strategy? What are they taking accountability for, being proactive with? Advice for the masculines. So if you're a DM, you can do a vibe check and see if you are actually aligned with these messages, and some advice. And then for the feminines, so see, this is now a feminine portion of the reading. What do the feminines need to know about the masculine's energy, about their preparation, and then some practical advice regarding the energetics of the connections for the feminines. So here we go. Oh, interesting. We got Seal of Harmonic Order and Temple of the Moon Goddess. Harmony, cooperation, and emotional transparency, nurturance, and grace. So there does seem to be a free flow of emotional savvy exchange between the counterparts. I'm going to leave those there because they came out in an interesting way. But let's get into Divine Masculines. So what are they conscious of about the connection at this time regarding coming towards union? Knight of Wands and Queen of Wands. So they may feel that they still aren't a spiritual equal with their divine feminine, but that they are now beginning to see the masculine and feminine polarity in the dynamic as not so much needing to be the same as, but finding the complementary opportunities is the way they're giving it to me. So we've got the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Wands, both in the inverse, shows me that the masculines are aware of that they are not at odds with, in competition with the feminine, that both are developing strategies and skills and lessons along the way. They do slightly look up to the feminine in some regard, but they're learning not to do that so that they can step more into their masculinity. What is the advice here? I mean, they do admire, they do have deep gratitude, but when we look at a counterpart more as a leader, a parental figure, we don't have equality. So there's something about, age difference could apply here, being the knight and a queen. So there is an age difference message here. I don't usually get specifics like that, but if you do have an age difference where the feminine is older than the masculine, they are seeing you as equal despite the age difference. So they're age difference blind, because both are in the inverted like this. It doesn't matter. So that's the number. Oh, and yeah, the advice here is, so two messages, yeah, that they're looking for the complementary ways to come in and not being at odds. And if there is an age difference where the feminine is older, then they are also realizing that that actually doesn't hold great significance. You are a perfect match no matter what. And we get advice, soul. So soul activates our connection to the part of us that is closer to the higher realms, God or the divine. Exactly, masculine. So yeah, age difference does not matter in these connections because you're both divine. You're equally matched on a level that trumps age difference or earthbound differences here. Now, if this is that complementary thing, it's because you complement each other on a soul level. It may not be so evident according to societal norms how the two of you complement, but as soon as you get into the soul, into the energetics of it, you're a perfect match. And so there is always that kind of alignment available here. So masculines are really looking at the truth of these soul level connections at this time. What do the feminines need to know about that? Ace of Pentacles, this is the brand new cycle coming in where the masculine's eyes have been opened to the soul aspect or are being open to the soul compatibility here. What is the advice for the feminines? Neutrality, diplomacy, negotiation, philosophy. So if your masculine is currently up-leveling past some sort of stigmas or obstacles, perceived obstacles, you being in neutrality about those very things, being in meditation, coming through the stigma aspect of it yourself, is bringing in a new philosophy where the benefits outweigh the risk or the obstacle. It trumps the benefits, the alignment trumps the misaligned potentials. What can we see for how the masculines are looking at their feminine consciously, what they're clearing specifically about the interpretation of their feminine? Wow, Judgment and Eight of Wands. So they're diving into their own energetic assessment of who you are. It's like they're going to their guides, the angels, the divine. Their eyes are being open to the truth of your energy, feminines. So that does hold true when they're looking at the fact that you are not at odds, you're not separate, you're not different from them in an insurmountable way. They're seeing you as a blessing. They're getting these insights about who you actually are on a soul level. What is the advice for you, divine masculines? Conception. Conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and the possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. So yeah, this is like really looking at the pros instead of the cons, and really looking at the conception, that soul, the origin, the original life force energy that is embodied by the divine counterparts. The masculines are seeing, namaste, that divine in you, feminines. Masculines, you are touching on the God self. What is the advice for the masculine or for the feminines? Ace of Wands. Wow, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. So this is the passionate new beginning. This is that torch, the baton. This is where things ignite. This is where not only is the viewpoint on this connection forever changed and now stepping out on a new foot, but it's bringing with it innovation. It's bringing inspiration. It's bringing new ideas, new play, new adventure. So the masculines are really seeing that none of the limitations, none of the stigmas, none of the concerns needed to apply when they get into this soul level assessment of the love that's here, the compatibility, the joy, the freedom, the passion. So this is also passion igniting. What is the advice for the feminines? Oh, I'm also hearing you might have been starting to feel zingy in the sensual energy again. This is because the masculines are sending this energy of awakening, they're focused on you, feminines, so they're seeing you in exciting new ways, and you're likely feeling it. Temple of meditation, communion, contemplation, higher mind. So really bring your awareness, move that kundalini upward into your conscious mind, into your higher mind. Really look at the energetic higher truths about what you're experiencing in your connection. What can we see for the masculines on the heart space about the dynamics? Knight of Pentacles and Ten of Wands. So there's a foundation to once and for all eliminate codependency, dependency, karma within the connection, because their hearts desire a firm foundation, a solid foundation. They don't want to bring burden into the dynamics. And so they're clearing anything on their side, and they're patiently valuing you clearing those things on your side now. What is the advice? Divine masculine is the advice. The frequency of divine masculine supports our active, focused, and strong side, facilitating our capacity to transform our dreams into form. So yeah, we have to clear out the old to make room for the new. So masculines are laying a foundation, not by getting ahead of themselves and, trying to get to the finish line faster. They are actively clearing out the clutter. Anything that misconceptions, people, places, things that are really not serving anymore, and adding drama, adding congestion, adding confusion into the mix, beliefs, paradigms, you name it, that it doesn't resonate as strength. It doesn't muscle test strongly. The masculines are letting go of attachment to those things. It's a ripple effect, I just heard. So it's not just the big things that you could point a finger at. It's nuance and subtlety. It's perfection templates, I just heard. What do the feminines need to know about this? High Priestess, stay in your knowing. I just saw 1212. So again, we have divine masculine, which would be a high priest type energy, and the high priestess side by side here, both in the upright. So stay in your embodiment, feminines. And this is also a time not to necessarily take action, but allow your masculine the space, the sovereignty to just keep coming through their process, their induction into the embodiment of their divine masculinity, their healthy pride. What is the advice? Spiritual strength, virtue, and valor. So stay in your righteousness. Don't let yourself down. Make your decisions based on how it feels for you. Don't do things as a strategy about what others would say or do, or even your masculine. Really just stay in your knowing right now about what works for you, what is high frequency, what is beneficial for you in your life right now, feminines. What are the masculines clearing towards you on their heart space, feminines? The Moon and the Knight of Swords. So they're not really talking to others about how deeply they feel and how deeply they feel this connection into the subconscious levels, and how many epiphanies they're having about the depth of the space that the two of you share in your connection, the unspoken acknowledgement and compatibility, recognition, the way that the two of you navigate. There are things that are being brought to the masculine's attention right now about the synergy, being in the same vibration. It's like it's dawning on them. It's illuminating to them ways that the two of you, it's like, hey, wait a minute. I haven't ever even had to talk to this person about this XYZ, and yet they just roll that way. They can see you share core values, that you both have this unspoken knowing that you're on each other's team energetically, physically, that you would do things for each other, that you show up differently with each other, that you wouldn't do with anyone else, that you wouldn't expect anyone else to do for you. They're seeing this. It's a paradox. It's an ironic revelation right now. The unspoken way the two of you honor, respect. So again, this is a big message. If you're in an abusive situation or it's toxic in some way, you got to ask yourself, are you interpreting it as toxic or is it actually toxic? You have to know the discernment to tell the difference. These high frequency connections that I'm channeling, there are unspoken alignments here that the masculines are realizing they don't share that depth with others. What is the advice here for you, masculines? Transformation. The energy of transformation supports our ability to gracefully flow through the times of transition, allowing the old to make room for the new. So yeah, there is this motion of seeing what no longer serves and letting go of the attachment. But it's not just about carpet sweeping it or denying it or saying you're going to let go. It's literally seeing how that old energy got you to where you are, befriending it, appreciating, saying thank you for everything that has come before, and seeing with great gratitude that you would not know what you know about your connection, about your counterpart, about yourself, masculines, if you had not gone through this metamorphosis in your life where you've gone from reading things at face value to understanding the energy involved. There's a shift of foundation from material perspective on reality to a transcendental, energetic, metaphysical view of reality through this journey. And this is on the heart space. It is inextricably connected to your feminine and this exploration of reality that the two of you share in just the way through the history you've shared. That is uncanny how aligned you are. And also how this connection is going through a transformation as a result of this deepening understanding of what's been going on in the connections. What can we see for the feminines? So, Eight of Swords, there are things you might be telling yourself that are disempowering, that are limiting what you have as a potential and before you right now. This might be that you're safe in the skepticism. This might be that you're holding yourself back from something that your soul is calling you to explore. This might be that as a coping strategy, you're trying to talk yourself down out of thinking that this connection is going to transpire. Whatever it may be, there's something here, feminines, where your focus can shift from a limited assessment to a flow of energy in some regard. What can we see for advice? Consciousness, beginning, and faith. Hydrogen atom. Drink more water, I just heard. But aside from that, every moment is a blessing. Every moment is new. There is no baggage in each moment unless you bring it there through the lens. You know, they've done studies that our memories are not infallible, and our emotional response to what we think we remember is a layer. And how we're feeling in the moment when we remember whatever we think we're remembering is another layer. It gets really wobbly goop pretty fast. And so, you know, just have beginner's fresh eyes. If something works for you genuinely, deeply in the moment, appreciate that with all of your heart. You don't need to put yourself into repeat low vibrational patterns, you don't have to get all up in arms about what could repeat from your history. You don't have to say yes to things, situations, or you don't have to force yourself to be stronger or braver than you need to be by, hoping for the best. You can be good on your own without binding yourself into anything that doesn't feel settled and sure and solid and grounded yet. If you don't feel grounded and solid and about something, it's not time yet. You can be curious about that, feminines, in this very moment. What do you need to feel safe, to feel grounded? Is your scenario offering you that? Do you need to take accountability and move yourself out of a certain thought form or out of a certain situation if that's not happening? Big, deep messages. What can we see for the masculines clearing towards sacred union? What are they wishing to manifest at this time? Oh, no kidding. We get the Four of Wands, sacred union, and Knight of Swords. So they don't want to presume that they have it all figured out. They're kind of wanting to collaborate with the feminine now. They want to communicate. They want to fish for information. I just heard about what your thoughts are, feminines. What coming together at this next step in your connection would look like. I'm hearing literally, is that living together? Is that marriage? Is that working together? Is that spending more time together in certain ways? There's a little bit of information that the masculines are desiring right now because they're thinking outside the box, and they do not want to have just a cookie cutter connection. They know this is different than that kind of thing, and so they're getting creative here, but they kind of want to know if you've got some creative ideas about the scenario. They're curious about this. So if you're not in communication, entertain a telepathic conversation, feminines, or soul search. Most importantly, soul search and see, do you have any kind of creative downloads about how your connection could function at this stage in creative ways that maybe others might not consider, because it's not traditional. It's like custom energetic home building, I just heard. Advice for the masculines, second chakra. Okay, here's that sensual energy. So the feminines were already starting to feel a little zingy in the energy here, and masculines, your advice is sacral chakra. Helps to navigate our lives through our emotions and supports our ability to enjoy the sensual world. So yeah, this desire to manifest more communication about where things are genuinely at, so that it's not an either or, so it can feel better. This doesn't necessarily just mean sexual. Sensual can just be that frequency, the vibration that either sits well with our soul or not. So masculines want to bring more ease, more flow into the connection. There's an elephant in the room about the intimacy in these connections, that there has been lots of anxiety or tension in the past, or weirdness, and the masculines want to smooth out that energy. They want to get on the same page. They want to have it sit well with their sacral chakra. They don't want sexual tension. They want to they're ready for the next level of integration of what feels good to both of you at this stage. Or this can mean that they're starting to feel a deepening foundational trust, and they're curious if you're feeling that too. What is the advice for the feminines? Keep laser focused on unconditional love. Don't entertain ideas, all these different interpretations of your reality, if it doesn't feel good. Stay in the good feeling vein of thought, train of thought about everything happening in your life and with your counterpart right now. If you start disintegrating say, you know, that's not a truth. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't sit well with my soul. And keep with it until you get the truth that sets you free, that feels pleasurable, and it's not spiritual bypassing. It's sits well, it's truthful, it rings true, it resonates. So dispel any of those ideas that don't do that and just throw them out. And the ones that do ring true, allow those full-heartedly to be there so that they can deepen into what comes next. What is the advice? Seal of individuality, authenticity, uniqueness, integration. Yeah, that was a long-winded way of talking about how to integrate your truth, feminines. And so you are trailblazing a unique path here. Your masculine is feeling this energy smoothing out and feeling better for both of you, and starting to think about living together, marriage, long-term blending in some way. And they are starting to open to what that can look like, but it's going to be highly creative. The sacral chakra, not only is it our sensual and creative chakra, our channeling chakra, but yeah, it is our creative chakra. And so we are the master creators. We are creator beings. And this is all about attuning us to what feels good and right and true and sits well with our soul. And then the sky's the limit, unlimited cosmic potential to bring innovation into this world, because we can sense what is life affirming. That's what we're actually attuning to on these journeys, is to pinpoint life affirming, passionate flow, manifestation, channeling that galactic energy into the earth plane, the safety, the trust, the love, the solutions. That's what this is about. That's the key of the exponential co-creative power of these aligned unions, is that when two people are doing that, it's like Care Bear stare. You get one person doing that, it's kind of bright. You get two together, it's like, wow, cool stuff. What are the masculines' actions at this time? What are they actively doing to bring in sacred union? King of Swords and Temperance. They are declaring to anyone that they're interacting with truth from this temperance, this balance, this healing that they have embodied. Clarity. This is clarity. They're coming into their full articulate expression of truth. And as a way of life, they're telling it like it is in ways that is not off-putting. It's balanced. So it's no longer griping. It's no longer cynicism. It's no longer road rage, I just heard. It's like literally the masculines are upholding the truth in chill ways. They're, yeah, ding, ding, ding. You got it, masculines. Remembrance is the advice. Remembrance supports our memory of everything. Oh, I want to backtrack. This energy of temperance also allows for the sweet love, masculines. You don't have to be stoic and hard-edged expressing your love. This is where you can bring in the tenderness. This is where you can own your truth, and it can be accessible. It doesn't have to be prickly. It can just be what it is. And you don't have to be in a role, wearing a mask, calm, cool, collected, too cool for school. This is where you can drop your guard and, you know, it just is. It just is. And because you're a multidimensional being, you've got this remembrance across all space and time. It's like your Akashic information through all your incarnations, through all the dimensions, all the layers of reality. It's like you can now access those things and slide across those dimensions at will, because you've remembered that key frequency that is unconditional love. And so that's the magic passcode to access all manner of insights, solutions, wisdom. Yeah. Bing, bing, bing. Remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul and body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. Yeah, there's grace coming in. And that's not effeminate masculines. That grace is nobility, it's elegance, it's eloquence. Flow masters. What do the feminines need to know? Page of Swords. You are going to see your masculine using new ways of communicating with you. Remember this reading when that happens and just smile to yourself. Give yourself a wink in the mirror. Give yourself an I told you so, or a here we go, this is happening. And be grateful. Most importantly, above all else, sit with it for a minute and receive it. When you see your masculine beginning to remember their divinity and speak from that place of within flow, within stride, showing up, being solid, character, integrity, not filtering, not withholding, not being in scarcity, competition, and lack. They're in their element. They're in the zone. When you see your masculine in the zone, in their element, just do a little happy dance within, or do one without. Do a little happy dance. Your masculine will be like, what the heck are you doing? And you can say, I'm just celebrating you right now. All good. You're going to see this, feminines. What is the advice? Peace, healing, gentleness, non-judgment. Yeah, so don't be in judgment, condemnation, ridicule. Be in a gentle heart. Trust it's coming. Growth must happen. Growth must happen. And so, yeah, you're going to see the evidence of this. You don't think, the divine just said, you don't think that, I'm talking from the voice of the divine, you don't think that I would allow you to go on this journey and that it would be futile or a trick or a dead end. Stay with it. The good part's about to happen. That's what I just heard. Wow. So what is the biggest challenge for the masculines? Perseverance, strength, overcoming the devil, and this wheel of fortune, patience. Not knowing where it's going, but being here for it. The challenge is always staying the course. What is the advice for you masculines? Miracles. The frequency of miracles supports our belief in ourselves as part of source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. So don't stop believing, masculines. Yeah, believe in miracles. So things can happen. This wheel of fortune can click when you least expect it. So feminines, just know that your masculine is not necessarily a time lord. Divine timing is the ultimate time regulator, but when your masculine is channeling their actions, their motions in their own life, in these connections, they are attuning to being a conduit for divine timing. And so yes, they do get downloads, transmissions of how they're supposed to move in your connection and in the world, but they're aligning with something greater than themselves. And so they're learning how to do that. They also are getting building this confidence, training these muscles to believe in miracles and to stay focused on a higher frequency expectation for the future rather than things that are misguided. Masculines are expecting miracles, beautiful, or are about to move into expecting miracles. Their confidence is growing, their soul confidence. The messages earlier about things sitting well with our soul, when we repeatedly build that confidence where we're not adding lower vibrational things in, rebellious, sin, missing the mark, choosing unwisely, going against our inner knowing. When we're not doing that anymore, we get some breathing room with a run of good luck. We get a series of abundant choices coming in. And that brings in a windfall of blessing. It gives us the right alignment so that we see more things as miraculous. miracles tend to evoke a very deep sense of gratitude. So if we live in gratitude, you could reason that we are more apt to be seeing life as miraculous in general and not as mundane. And the devil energies would try to tell us, oh, it's just life, it's no biggie. No biggie. But when we're in the energy of miracles, we're like, wait a second, I'm alive, I'm in physical form. What? That. So, advice for the feminines. Where there's a miracle, blockage, miracle. We turn that apparent obstacle or blockage on its head. We get where there's a will, there's a way. We get in the nick of time. We get that eye of the needle in a haystack. We get things aligned. Keep feeling into misaligned things until you eliminate them all towards your alignment, feminines. What is the advice? Bliss. Yes. Look at the things that don't allow for bliss in your life and throw them out. Anything that doesn't resonate in a blissful, joyful way, take accountability and clear it out. Take care of that business. Do your due diligence. Be accountable, and then don't re-engage with those sorts of things. Make room in your life for more things that cause this bliss. Realize your dreams. Go for it. You do have to clean up some messes sometimes. It's okay if it's hard work. It's okay if it's going to take some time. Do it. You're never going to be younger or have more energy than you do right now. Actually, that's not true. When you clear out the things that are not authentic to you, your energy skyrockets because you're not zapping it by being in that suffering so much anymore. Yeah, that's a good one. That could also be what the masculines are getting a handle on, not being dancing with the devil so much. They've got the strength card. Hey, masculines, so you're overcoming that lower vibrational dance with the devil too. What is the solution here? Ace of Swords and the Hanged One. Yeah, masculines, go into meditation about specific things that have been confronting or challenging for you. Logistics, obstacles, frustrations, anything you don't know the answer to. The Ace of Swords is like the truth. In the inverse, if you don't know what the answer is, go into a deliberate meditation and say, how else could I look at this thing? How could I see it as foundational or part of the process or having gotten me here? How can I look at the circumstances I find myself in as exactly what I need to be seeing right now in order for the truth of what comes next to be there? How can I look at my scenario right now as the answer to what I've been asking for in the making? That's a very good one. What is the advice? Kindness. Okay, kindness is compassion in action. When we're in victim or blame or projecting or playing small and in limited stuff, we're not able to be grateful. We don't see potentials. If you can be kind to self and other about anything that frustrates you and see it through the lens of compassion, you will see opportunities to move the energy forward that were off your radar before you came into that kind of way of looking at your scenario. The energy of kindness reminds us to be considerate and wise in our interactions with others and ourselves, and to find the root of our love through our connection to Source. So take yourself up and out of the perceptions of the mundane. Connect back to Source, back to your origin, back to the potentiality, the unlimited potentiality of this, whatever this is that we find ourselves in. Again, like, What is it? Oh, okay. And drop into your heart. Feminines, the moon now for the feminines. So a lot of secrets are coming up from the subconscious right now about the nature of reality, about, you know, those rocks being left unturned. No rock is left unturned on this journey. When we're in mastery, we have the full revelation of all that is, and we gain this unbounded or boundless access to potential, to possibilities, to miracles. If you can dream it, you can achieve it, kind of thing. When we open up the subconscious, we start to see the blockages to our abundance, to our freedom. We start to see where we've suffered damage, where we've been traumatized, where we've believed misconceptions about ourselves or others. These things are deep in there. It's collective, it's generational, it's past life, it's, existential. There's so many layers. But when our subconscious, when we can actually shine a light on all of that, there's nothing hidden from us. We don't have to be at the mercy of those lurking things that are outside of our radar. And so, there's nothing left to hide. It's like pure connection can come in, and we can revel in genuine, clear, righteous, honoring, balanced connection with each other in these connections when we've done the work, when we've cleared that stuff out, and when we're just here for connection. So that's going to be coming to light for the feminines. And advice, spiritual gifts, mystery, enchantment, and secrets. There's something so awe-inspiring about the grand mystery. When we are in suffering, we fear the dark. We fear what could come next. We fear that aloneness, the bigness, the scariness of it. But when we do the healing work, it can be so cosmic and calming and awe-inspiring, like looking at the night sky. Chamber of initiation. So for many feminines, I'm actually being given a prayer right now for feminines who want to come out of the fear of the future, of the unknown. If it resonates, you can listen to the prayer, and if it fits for you, you can back this up and say it with me. But I embrace the mystery. I am ready to be pleasantly delighted by my experiences of this reality. I wish for my eyes to open to the potentials before me so that I can see the blessings and abundance coming to me without fear. Oh, very beautiful. Okay, let's get a little message from the masculines to the feminines. What would the masculines say to the feminines at this time? Oh, that was a 55 card as well. So there are major changes for the feminines to really step into receptivity for all the goodness wanting to come. And that also means your union, and to put down those heart walls and to believe it's going to get good and that it's coming in, and to have the vision to see it actually coming towards you now. Feminines. Masculines, message to the feminines, there's an offer coming in. So the masculines want to offer you something, but you're going to have to put down your disbelief. You're going to have to put down any animosity or resentment, lack of forgiveness, skepticism. You're going to have to clear all that out and have fresh eyes, feminines, for what the masculines want to bring, because they have never come forward as their God selves before. What is going to, or not sustained, not as a whole embodiment. They've had aspects of it. We all do. We're all partially divine. But when we see that in ourselves and we cultivate that consciously, it's different. What can we see for the feminines to the masculines? I just want space. Be more selfish. And I think so, yes. Let me get what this is about. Yeah, so feminines, what I'm getting here is that the feminines are finally feeling into their wholeness and understanding that they don't have to be poised and vigilant anymore, that this connection doesn't have to stress them out about whether or not it's going to happen or you want them masculines. They really understand now that both of you are free to be who you're really meant to be, and that it doesn't take away or negate the love you share. That you can both live your lives freely. The feminines understand that they want space, and they want you to have the space. They want you to have everything you dream of. They want everything that they dream of. And so it's not a question of thinking so. They know. They know you're the one, that both of you can get what you want out of life, and that it doesn't diminish the love between you whatsoever. That's really aligned, feminines. I love that. Okay, many blessings. Bye for now.